Before the blue, before the green, before the very first heartbeat, there was only the dark. 4.6 billion years ago, our sun was a newborn, a violent, flickering star surrounded by a graveyard of dying worlds. This was the cosmic junkyard. Trillions of burning rocks slamming together, kinetic energy turning stone into liquid fire. This wasn't a planet yet, it was a proto-Earth, a screaming, molten ball of slag over 2,000 degrees Celsius. At this heat, the very air you breathe today was vaporized rock. Act 2. The Hadean Nightmare. Then came the impact. A world the size of Mars, called Theia, struck us with the force of 1 billion atomic bombs. The Earth didn't just shake, it shattered. From that wreckage, a ring of fire formed, and from that fire, the moon was born. For 1,000 years, the moon sat 10 times closer than it does today, a giant, glowing observer in a purple sky. Act 3. The Great Deluge. But the fire couldn't last forever. As the crust hardened, the steam began to rise, thick, suffocating, eternal. Then, the great rain began. It did not last for an hour. It did not last for a day. It rained for thousands of years. The lowlands filled. The first oceans, acidic, iron-rich, and green, swallowed the world. Act 4. The Spark of Life. Somewhere, in the crushing dark of the ocean floor, near volcanic vents spewing the Earth's inner heat, chemistry became biology. Simple molecules began to dance. They began to copy themselves. They began to breathe. Look around you. Every mountain was once molten slag. Every drop of water in your veins fell from a Hadean sky. Every breath you take is a gift from those ancient, microscopic pioneers. This is not just history. This is the story of us. Pro tips for 11 Labs success. The tag. 11 Labs recognizes natural breaks, but if it speaks too fast, manually add a dash or a new line to force a breath. Pronunciation. If it struggles with Theia, spell it phonetically as Theia. For Hadean, try Hadean. Sectioning. Since this is for a 2-hour documentary, do not generate all 2 hours at once. Generate in 5-minute chapters so you can adjust the emotion as the story moves from the violent birth to the quiet oceans. As the Earth's surface began to solidify, a silent miracle was taking place thousands of miles beneath the crust. The iron catastrophe was complete. Imagine a ball of liquid metal the size of Mars spinning at the center of our world. This rotating dynamo began to generate an invisible force field, the magnetosphere. Without it, we are a dead rock. The sun is a giver of life, yes, but it is also a destroyer. Its solar winds are a radioactive scythe capable of stripping an atmosphere into the vacuum of space. But our magnetic heart stood firm. It deflected the fire. It gave the Earth a sanctuary, a place where the air could finally settle. Getty Images. But the sanctuary was about to be invaded. 4 billion years ago, the outer giants, Jupiter and Saturn, shifted their orbits. This gravitational dance sent a storm of icy rocks screaming into the inner solar system. We call it the Late Heavy Bombardment. Impact after impact, the scars are still visible on the face of our moon today. But for Earth, these were not just weapons of destruction, they were delivery ships. Within these asteroids were crystals of salt, and within that salt were microscopic droplets of liquid water. Every glass of water you drink, every wave that crashes against a cliffside, it didn't start here. It was delivered, carried across the frozen void of space by billions of dirty snowballs. The Earth was being watered by the cosmos. The rain lasted for millions of years. The atmosphere, once a toxic furnace, began to clear. As the water pooled in the lowlands, it dissolved the minerals of a virgin world. The oceans were not blue, not yet. They were a dark olive green, saturated with iron. The sky was a thick, carbon-heavy red. But at the bottom of these green seas, something was stirring. In the cracks of the ocean floor, where the heat of the core met the cold of the new water, a chemical soup was thickening. Carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen. In these volcanic chimneys, the ingredients of life were being shaken, stirred, and electrified. We were moving from the world of geology into the world of biology. The stage was set. The water was deep. The fire was contained. Now, the Earth was waiting for its first inhabitant.